How's it going, guys? And welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Miscreant. If you'd like to farm the Miscreant for yourself, you're on a fast travel over to Bloodsun Canyon on Gehenna, specifically taking the Presentation Room fast travel station. From there, you're going to carry on through the map as you normally would until you hit the save station at the Quartermaster's Arena. And then you just jump on down, take them out, and you can get yourself the Miscreant. The Miscreant is a legendary Vladof pistol, able to roll in any of the elements and can roll with 1 to 2 projectiles per shot for 1 or 2 ammo costs per shot respectively. Miscreant shoots decently inaccurate rockets that will explode on impact, dealing splash damage. The Miscreant will also always roll with double barrel as its underbarrel, providing significantly increased fire rate and decreased accuracy. Though the Miscreant does deal splash damage, it does not roll with any splash damage anointments. The Miscreant is the ogre if the ogre was what the ogre should have been. The Miscreant is the ogre if it had layers. High fire rate, splash damage, inaccurate as fuck. It's all the things that makes the ogre without the downside of the BL3 ogre where it does no damage, because the Miscreant does fucking damage. I promise I'm done saying ogre now. But the Miscreant just shreds anything that is put in front of it. And dear God, is it satisfying. Just the fucking sound design of this thing alone is beautiful, and then the impact of those rockets and just watching the health bar melt away in an instant, it's just fucking glorious. My nuts are empty though, and I cannot glaze this thing more even if I wanted to, so let's actually get into real information. When it comes to ×1 versus ×2, I do think they both have their place. ×1 is still incredibly strong with pretty reasonable ammo consumption, where with most characters, tap firing just enough to kill an enemy will get you a pretty long way. It takes a minute to kind of get used to those breakpoints with this, how many bullets it takes to kill a specific enemy, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it really isn't that much of a problem. The second you get any sort of ammo regen though, especially on Moes, if you're using it properly, you really shouldn't have a problem avoiding reloads. Of course, it'll still happen here and there, but it's really easy to sustain magazines with this thing, and you should have more than enough ammo reserves to get through pretty much anything. Both the single and double barrel here are incredibly viable. Now ×2 is a massive spike up. The damage goes from strong to insane, but it takes far more effort to upkeep ammo, and even with a shit ton of mag size and ammo regen, you still have to tap fire in most cases. You can get to the point where you can just hold down the trigger with Moes, but it's just barely. Though this in no way makes it bad or even is really a downside, more of just a balancing factor, because the ×2 Miscreant is going to melt any health bar hit by it. But hey, for you Moes players, throwing a ×2 Miscreant with some for the road. It's a ticket straight to the 7th ring of the Geneva Convention. It's also a pretty good gun for clone because he doesn't consume any ammo, but if any enemy gets even remotely in his face, he's gonna just explode himself with it. Something else to note with the Miscreant is I'm not really sure I can say there is a definitive god roll. The ones I showed during the overview were max damage and max mag size, but obviously there's a bunch of rolls between there, and I do think pretty much any of them could have a use within just whatever you need for your specific setup. With obviously the max damage is good for builds that don't really want to invest hard into using the Miscreant, while if you do want that decent ammo sustain with it, you're gonna want a bigger mag to abuse. Especially if you want to hold down the trigger on a ×2, you're gonna need to go for a lower damage, bigger mag variant. Overall though, the Miscreant is just a fantastic weapon, and I think the only reason it kind of goes underused is because it's a little bit difficult to use, getting used to that tap firing and the breakpoints of its damage. But along with that, it also released probably with the single most popular Vladof pistol in BL3 being the Light Show. So it did get a little bit overshadowed, but what the Light Show doesn't do that the Miscreant excels at is of course splash damage. And really, for any splash build, you should always have a Miscreant in your back pocket. It is a fantastic weapon, and not only just insanely strong, it is incredibly fun. But that's gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. I'll be live right after this video goes up, right here on YouTube, but also over on my Twitch channel, where there will be a link to down in the description below. And just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.